Hi guys, Blake here today, Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina. Beautiful Lake Taneycomo. It is Sunday. I know it's Sunday, and I think it's the 26th. And we're gonna do the one cast for you today. It's about noon, maybe a little less than noon, 11:51. Here very shortly they're supposed to turn the water down to 2 units up at top, so it'll take a while before it reaches down here to get back to 2. So we're running 3 at the moment. And today I'm still sitting in the dock because I plan on starting my drift as soon as we back out of here. But rig number 1, we've got a 3/16 ounce weight for the 3 units of water, sliding snap swivel, size 12 barrel, got about a foot to one of those 5mm beads I was talking about the other day. That is a Gamakatsu size 12 stinger hook, and I have that snail knotted on there. I'm not sure if you can see the snail knot. About another foot below that, we have a size 8 Gamakatsu stinger hook, and we are going to put some minnows on today. Well, we're going to do one with a minnow, one with a shiner, and I've got an extra rod just in case. I've already taken a bigger minnow out of my bucket here, and we're actually going to attempt to thread this minnow onto the hook. I'm going to start at the tail. We're going to go down the lateral line of that minnow. You're going to poke the hook through, and this is going to be challenging. Okay. I'm trying to show this to you guys. It's going to be really hard to see on the camera. We're going to pull that all the way through the minnow. Now we're on the same side of the minnow that we popped through at. We're going to go about a 1/4 inch down the lateral line of the minnow. We're going to pop it through again, feed it all the way through, and now on the same side that we just popped through, we're going to go a little bit down on the lateral line. We're going to pop it through. We're going to continue threading this hook through the minnow about a 1/4 inch at a time down the lateral line. Until we get near the head, and I'll show you what we're going to do once we get there. It does help if your minnow is unconscious for this. Alright, so we've made it pretty close to the gill plate there. We're going to take that hook, we're going to pop it through the minnow, maybe. We're going to attempt to come out of the gill plate or somewhere in there. Okay, so we got to pop out kind of near the head there. That'll work. We're going to take our line, pull it straight, and so now I have the hook right there near the head. The minnow is threaded on the line nice and straight, and that is going to allow for whenever the minnow is dragging for the head to face upstream, and whenever a fish eats another fish, they will hit it and try to spin it around so that they can grab it head first. So my hopes is that this will help the hookup rate of dragging that minnow. And I'm obsessed with catching a fish on one of those beads that I just bought, so I've put a bead on every rig just for fun as an additional bait, except for this rig. This rig is for the shiner minnow. It's the same setup, 3/16 ounce weight, about 2 foot of line. This has a size 8 thin wire, long shank or long shaft hook. And I have my unconscious shiner minnow, a little bit bigger. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to start at the tail. You run down the center line of the fish. We're going to thread that through just like we did the last minnow. It's important to try to hit that lateral line because that is where the strongest part of the middle of the fish is. It will hold up the longest, dragging in the current. This is a little trick that I learned on the Light River with one of our guides at Craner's. Okay, so I'm about to that same spot, except I have a longer shaft here so I can start a little farther back. We're gonna run that up somewhere through the eye, the mouth, or the gill plate, or the head of the minnow. We'll pop that through and pull our line straight. And you can even push this hook back into one of the previous holes you made. Try to hide everything, make it look good. Okay, and so we have the hook hanging right out of his eye there. And I'm going to leave this one rigged up, ready to go if we lose our other minnow or rig. And we're going to back out of the dock. And I'm just going to use the trolling motor to do so. And I'm just going to go somewhere about the center of the lake, and we're going to start drifting down from the resort down. Be prepared to be wearing a lot of scales by the time you're done doing this process if you're going to thread those minnows like that. I'm not sure if 3/16 ounce is going to be too heavy for drifting farther down. It might be that we need to switch to an 1/8 ounce, but we'll find out here shortly. And we'll get the first cast out there. And this is all 4-pound line monofilament. And I do not like the way that 3/16 ounce is dragging. Seems a little too heavy to me. We are going to just go ahead before we lose the rig and switch over to an 1/8 ounce. So I guess I get to say no fish on the first cast. But you really just want that ticking the bottom lightly, and that was dragging the bottom a little too heavy. So 1/8 ounce weight. So why having that snap swivel sliding is nice, because it is a quick disconnect and change out. All right, 1/8 ounce, definitely the better option here. And if we were to drift far enough down the lake, I would probably even wind up switching to a 1/16 ounce as the current got a little slower. Darn it. Got hung up on the bottom there for a second. Go ahead and reel that in, make sure I didn't lose my minnow. You want to make sure it's kind of still straight. If the minnow gets too curled on there, you need to either straighten it back out or put a new minnow on. We had a group of guys staying here over the last few days. I set them up with learning how to drag the pink power worm, which I did just the other day. And they said that wound up being their most effective method for catching fish. So putting a pink power worm on the end of this with just a regular size 8 bait holder and dragging it on the bottom, also effective. As you drag this direction on the lake, be prepared. There is more stuff as the lake gets wider and deeper to get hung on the bottom. So you could have some of these pre-tied up. We actually just got in some little foam wraps for pre-rigging drift rigs onto. That felt like a bite. Whenever the fish eat this, it's just like whenever they're trying to eat a night crawler. You kind of got to let them really take it before you set the hook. Oh, he was eating it too. It is quite the game learning how long to let them eat that before you set the hook. It is a trick. If I didn't pull it too far away from him, he might chase it and come back for it again. I'm just gonna pull it in, make sure I don't have any moss, make sure he didn't grab a hold of the minnow and get it all twisted here. Everything still looks pretty straight there. Got a little bit of moss on my bead hook. Now I rigged up that shiner minnow. I really just wanted to show it. I have a feeling it's something that would work better in higher flows, just as bigger baits, bigger scuds, bigger jerk baits, all the same concept. Whenever the water's flowing faster, the bigger stuff seems to work a little bit better. I have a feeling in the 2 units of water, probably not gonna work as good, except for if you do happen across that occasional very large trout. Or if we had a good shad kill going. I imagine that rigging the shiner minnow like that would be fairly effective. However, if there's a shad kill going on, it usually means that we're also running heavy water. They tend to go hand in hand. Like I said before, I never actually tried rigging a minnow the same way that we rig the shiners. It just takes a smaller hook and a little more delicacy, gentleness. But I think if we spent some more time doing it, you'd find that it might be effective and maybe a little more effective at hooking the fish. But I don't know. It's a pretty good snag. The minnow's starting to get a little beat up. I'm going to try to feed this hook back through the face one more time. Let's get it in a better position. We're just about down to Cooper Creek Marina. Got a pretty good storm system moving in tonight, early into the next morning. And I guess it's supposed to bring some real heavy wind, potentially quarter-sized hail. And then we've got a little bit of a break, and then I guess the next week it's supposed to, but right as of right now, they're calling for rain almost the whole week. So it would appear that spring is quickly upon us. Oh, finding the bottom pretty good. And once it starts getting to this point, you probably are getting about time to change your minnow out. I'm gonna try salvaging it one more time here. But once they start getting a little too beat up, you do gotta change them out. Cool thing about the shiners is they're a little tougher, so they last a little bit longer dragging. you ideally hope that the fish are biting the minnows good enough that you don't have to worry about changing them out, unless you change it out because the fish took it. But I'm not going to go too much longer. It's another way that you can try dragging the minnows out here. If you're out here to fish minnows, maybe rig them up a few different ways, including this one, and see which one gives you the best results. But we did have one solid bite, just couldn't get the hook set on him. But we thank you guys for watching. I'm going to continue dragging here for a little bit. If I do manage to hook a fish, I'll turn the camera back on. But we thank you guys for watching.